How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. We've got some Pokemon leaks to take a look at, so let's get started. First things first is going to be this right here over on Twitter, which is a post by Central Leaks. You guys should know Central by now if you've watched my previous videos. They are essentially a leak aggregator, but they did come out and say something very, very interesting, which I haven't seen a lot of people speak about, as well as some other stuff too. But this is apparently coming from Moot. That's his original source for this. Now, Moot has been leaking real stuff. He does seem to have some actual real information, so take that as you will, but here is what the info is. He says, new Pokemon Winds and Waves story and prequel anime leak. Okay, now this is interesting because we haven't really had any changes in the anime since they introduced Liko and the whole Horizon anime and all that sort of stuff. So what could this be about? Maybe this gives us some hints to what we can expect for Winds and Waves as well as games. Now he says the story of Pokemon Winds and Waves is related to time travel. Okay, I mean, I don't mind that. One of the, like, my favorite generation is Gen 2, which has Celebi, which, you know, like, fair enough, like, I don't mind it. But I do wonder, like, how, in what way, right? Because we do know that there is a professor that's going to be in Winds and Waves, a character, rather, that is supposed to be some sort of time traveler of sorts. Either way, he says there will be a prequel anime to the game. Oh, okay. Similar to Pokemon Twilight Wings. Okay, so like a short animated show. Like, not like a full-on anime like Ash's Journey or Liko and like Horizon or whatever. This is meant to be just like a mini animated short type of thing, which they've done a few of these in the past. Like you guys have seen, like the one with the Corvi Knight and all that sort of, like that's the Pokemon Twilight one. So nothing too crazy, but he says, which will be which will tell the backstory of the professor and the champion of the game, which I think like, the champion of this game is the time traveler, not the professor, as far as I'm aware. Either way, apparently the professor is 14 years old, while the champion is 20 years old, so I guess this is in the anime prequel thing. However, at the end of the series, 30 years before the events of the games, the professor is sent back in time. Thus, when we meet him in the games, he's actually older than the champion. So yeah, I mean, again, do we glean a lot from this? Not necessarily. We just get more information again about the champion, and we already kind of knew there was going to be some sort of time travel escapades and that sort of stuff. Like, we kind of already knew that was going to be the case. That wasn't really something that, you know, is that surprising, to be honest. But the fact that it's still being brought up, the fact that, you know, it's kind of confirmed almost at this point, because again, this is coming from like previous leaks and stuff, so it does pretty much just confirm it. But yeah, I don't know. It's intriguing. It's interesting to say the least. But again, we'll have to wait and see what comes from that. We do have some people with some theories, however, about what they feel about this. And there's some other stuff to talk about too. Now, one of the theories here is from Sol, who says there's a lot of guesswork in the original post. In my opinion, but I'd expect a nurse to join. The professor definitely looks older, but the important question is, would this air before Winds and Waves releases? I personally don't think they will want to spoil any plot before the games come out, which I agree. It's probably going to be after Winds and Waves comes out, is that we're going to get these like shorts and animations. So you guys will remember these Twilight Wings, you know, the whole animated shorts, right, that they did for Sword and Shield. So it's like something like that. He says that the professor definitely looks older, but the important question is, would this air before Winds and Waves? I personally don't think they will. They usually wait a few days to cover, to over a month after a game's release to air any type of Pokemon anime related stuff that contains plot related to the games. If we want to compare directly to Twilight Wings, Sword and Shield released on November 15th of 2019, and then Twilight Wings' first episode aired on January 15th in 2020, which is fair enough. Also, he says, on paper, a TCG-based movie sounds lame, and then he's talking about this other post, which is this one right here, which is also from Moot, by the way, saying, and Central sharing it, saying, leak, a new Pokemon movie is coming next year, will be based on the TCG. Oh dear, like animated movie or what? That's what we don't know. But yeah, because we did have a movie they were working on, and this is like a picture from that movie, from one of the posters, and this movie got canceled, I think. This movie just completely got canceled. So yeah, on paper, a TCG-based movie sounds lame, but maybe we want to make something special. As long as movies have a new Pokemon Mythical, I'm happy. Is Aperon and Bauer finally back? I don't know, but again, it's weird we never got this movie, that they kind of canceled it. It is a bit weird that they never committed to it, and the fact that it's being mentioned now by Moot that there is essentially another movie on the way is intriguing, to say the least. Like, he's been tweeting a few things, so it's something. It's something to say the least. I don't know, man. But yeah, we'll have to see what will happen and what comes from that. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that is pretty much that. Let's move on to the next thing, which is coming to us from Soul of all people. So apparently it says Pokemon Emerald incoming. So yesterday, the Pokemon Company Incorporated posted a tease about Rayquaza in an announcement. Now, actually, they did announce a new Mega Evolution Delta Rain thingy coming in November for TCG Pocket, but that's not the big thing here. The other thing that's here is what they also said. So what they said was, okay, many, they teased about Rayquaza and an announcement. Many thought it would be an Emerald port, but the announcement was just for the TCG. Or was it? It was also an announcement that there will be more Rayquaza announcements coming soon. Look specifically at the date of when the physical TCG set releases to November 6th, 2026. Now, I really think this is dedicated Rayquaza campaign could be hinting at Pokemon Emerald ports being the final 30th anniversary celebration of this fall, which is very possible because, as you can see, this is what Joe Merrick, who runs Cerebi, a big website, this is what he said. Looks like there's a lot of Rayquaza still to come franchise-wide, ... And you can see, coming soon, then TCG Pocket. What is this? Like I guess it's like a regular set, like a regular mega set with Rayquaza featured in it. So there's a bunch of stuff still related to Rayquaza that needs to happen, which is interesting. I mean, obviously, one of these could be like Rayquaza maybe showing up in parts of the DLC for Pokopia. That's a possibility. It could be Rayquaza showing up again in Emerald, getting a re-release of Emerald. That's very, very possible because already we do know some stuff in regards to this. Like something that boosts the chances of us getting an Emerald re-release is something that many people haven't really spoken about, but the fact that inside of the files of the ROM for Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green's port, so if you guys have played Fire Red Leaf Green on your Nintendo Switch, I don't know where my Switch is right now, but if you played it on there, you'll know that somebody was able to just data mine it thanks to it being on the Switch 1. People were able to data mine and find that there were essentially strings that basically showed that they had, you know, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald essentially compatible and ready to go. And basically what it looked like in the files was like, oh, there is a slot here for these games to be able to trade with Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald on the Switch. Right, like to be able to trade between them and stuff like that, or some sort of connectivity between them, which is weird that it would be there unless they were working on it, right? So it's a very possible thing. So he says, look specifically at the date when the TCG releases, again, November 6th. Really think a dedicated Rayquaza campaign could be hinting at a Pokemon Emerald port being the final 30th anniversary celebration. And he also says, the biggest reason I'm even considering Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald ports is because people found the connection to them, yes, in the Fire Red Leaf Green ports. Maybe it was just leftover data, but Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald ports would also be a decent final release for the 30th anniversary as Wind and Waves was delayed to 2027. But not just that. If you didn't know this, Fire Red Leaf Green and Emerald came out in the same year back in like, what, 2000 and I want to say 4? Let's see, Pokemon Emerald release dates, I think it was September 16th, 2004. Yes, I got it correct. And Fire Red Leaf Green came out in February. So let's look at the times here. This set is coming out on the 30th, this set is coming out in November. Like, actually do the math on this. So this set is coming out in November, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that what they said? November 6th is when we're getting a Delta Rain in TCG Pocket. We're getting also a regular set. So this is, okay, so Delta Rain, that's the physical set, I'm guessing, which is coming to physical release in November. This is happening in July in TCG Pocket, and then perfectly in September, you could have Emerald re-release because September is the original release date of the original Emerald back in 2004, and bloody hell, man, it's been like 20 plus years since then, so hey, it's like the peak moment, like 22 years, holy shit, man, I'm getting old. So it's been a long time, man. It's literally perfectly lined up because also you had Fire Red Leaf Green release in like what? We got Fire Red Leaf Green in February. Guess what? Fire Red Leaf Green originally came out in 2004 in February, which was essentially the same year. Not essentially, literally was the same year. The exact same years. Let's see, January 29th. So, okay, so right at the tail end of January, so not February, but right around then, and we got it around the same time now. So again, it's very possible. I think it's super possible. I think it definitely is going to happen, but then again, I'm just a guy. Maybe I don't know shit. We'll see. Even Light says potentially very close to November 6th, either before or after. We could see Pokemon Emerald port for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. The upcoming TCG Mega Evolution Delta Rain might even hint at it. Nothing is confirmed, just a theory. A game theory. But yeah, so honestly a lot to look forward to in this regard. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it's exciting to say the least. Okay, it's very exciting. So yeah, there's that. Also, some quick stuff. Cerebi has an update. Apparently, Pokopia has been updated to version 1.1.1, which contains several bug fixes. And of course, if you guys do not know, we also have the DLC coming out soon. And according to the DLC, we already got a few spoilers for it. So the Pokopia digital download card has surfaced, and there are a few interesting things worth pointing out. So first of all, Snubbull and Gramble appear to be joining the game, possibly in part 3, as you can see there in like this pink side over here. We also know that Manaphy was kind of confirmed in like the Nintendo Direct or whatever. And one of the new features for part 2, maybe teased here, we can see Snubbull and Pikachu wearing cosmetics, which yes, they are wearing outfits. So hey, maybe you can like dress up your Pokemon or whatever, which is kind of neat. So yeah, cool to know that. And let's see, did we miss anything in this regard? I don't think we did. Oh yeah, also this. A reminder that the traversal in Winds and Waves will most likely work with a Rotom scooter, which I don't know if they've changed that or if that's going to be different, but like basically it's a Rotom scooter that attaches to another Pokemon, and the Pokemon dragging it. Imagine basically Santa's sleigh, right? The scooter is the sleigh, and then it's being dragged by the Pokemon, just like Rudolph drags Santa across the entire Earth to deliver presents to all the little people. But yeah, so that's that. Also, the final thing, if you guys haven't seen, there are new Mega abilities which have been revealed for a few of the Pokemon. We now know all the new added Mega abilities. You can see right here, we've got Elevate for Electivire, Fire Mane for Pyroar, Piercing Drill for Drillbur, Contrary for Staraptor, Defiant for, I forget his name, Regenerator for, is that Dragalge? Contrary for Malamar, Intimidate for Scrafty, Tough Claws for, I forget the name, and Shell Armor for, forget the name. Sorry, my brain is fried. It is so warm right now. I am, like, my brain is literally fried from the heat. But that's fine, because ladies and gentlemen, we have potentially a Pokemon Emerald re-release to look forward to. Now, normally I'm not that excited for ports, but Emerald is peak, and it would be nice to have an official version of it. Like, I really wish they would do physical releases of these games, like an actual physical chip to have, or like a case to have, because I just want to be able to put it up there and just have it physically, because I hate that it's just like something that's only available as essentially a virtual console thing, which sucks. I know in the US, in Japan, they did some sort of like a little collector's edition thing, but it was still just a code, and that's it. I wish they did some sort of physical release for it, but they probably will not. But hey, it is what it is. You know, what can you do? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's video. See you all guys in the next time. Peace out, and bye-bye.